what we are going to talk about today is a really, really vast subject. I have come to realize that there is absolutely no mechanism of thinking, feeling, emoting, having subjective experiences that is possible without consciousness. And it is such a vast topic, such a grand topic. But I think not just on spiritual seekers, it is imperative upon everyone, each one of us, each man and woman of culture to think, know, and understand consciousness if they want to truly usher into new living mechanisms. So, why study consciousness? Consciousness is a subject on which decades of research has been conducted in philosophy, science, medicine, and AI. And yet, we have not reached a cohesive viewpoint on it, except, of course, in Tantras, where it is very elaborately conceptualized. So, for now, let us consider that consciousness is something that enables your understanding of stuff and knows that the one who understands is you yourself. On the other hand, there is universal consciousness, the one through which everything emanates, and the one in which everything retracts. In a sense, what you have as consciousness is akin to your code running in the vast compiler of universal consciousness, so to say. As people, our end goal is it is to channel our best and give the best in whatever we do and become kind of super embodied. A true understanding of consciousness can bring about unmatched burst of energy and creativity and higher intelligence. If we see ourselves also, the process of how all the multiplicity of cognition, contemplation, thinking process is happening and building upon itself to give rise to the future you contains the duplicity of something unfolding and dynamic over substrate of something static. That is your recognition of I. And this I here not supposed to be confused with the metaphorical ahamkara I. That is not really relevant here. These are some supramental concepts, and at first glance, it is very difficult to grasp them, especially from a scholastic point of view, because we have been so trained and it is so ingrained in us to separate science from philosophy. But each one of us is inherently a philosopher if we have ever pondered upon questions of cosmic relevance, of microscopic bodily existential dilemmas. It is for these reasons that I advise you to take a serious and hard look at consciousness. It has the potential of opening paradigms of language, finer understanding, and equanimity in yourself. Now that we have the question of why out of the way, we are going to go through themes and consciousness one after the other just so that we can build a ground. And this will be very relevant in this and also in the upcoming Kashmir Shiva related videos. Many other methods of seeing and understanding the nature of consciousness exist. So, to begin with, where did the idea of consciousness even come from in modern thought? Firstly, we have the physicalist view in modern science, where everything is a byproduct of physical entities. Simply, in physicalist or materialist POV, the consciousness or the mind is the product of our biology, our neural and synaptic connections and their relations. It seems pretty credible on the surface, but a closer reading reveals that it fails on lots of premises. The most famous one being studies correlating psychedelic substances usage with brain activity, and then it also fails to explain the qualia or subjective experience. In a nutshell, physicalism is a redundant POV that does not do much to explain consciousness well. But I will still like to go ahead and say that these scientific biases are the need of industries like machinery, medicine, and such. How else would you want to determine the movement of a robotic arm if not by degrees and directions? It has a place, just not in consciousness studies. I like the analytic idealist view very much because I think it has the ability to explain qualia or subjective experiences. It is very much akin to the view of consciousness in Kashmir Shaiva thought, which categorically mentions that consciousness precedes everything else, that everything emanates from the consciousness and goes back into it. That in a sense we are excitations in the vast field of consciousness. In that sense, it is simply saying consciousness is all pervading and we are just limited manifestations of it. Other schools also have very interesting things to say about it. Descartes has also proposed a very nuanced view of it being awareness of awareness. And I really want you to pay attention here, because this is the element. This is where it comes in, that it is I who thinks, who collects, who exists. This consistent knowledge and awareness of one's own knowledge is the concept that is very similar to Chit Shakti or Chitti in Tantra. Without Chit Shakti, you wouldn't be alive and functioning well. Not even living per se biologically, but also a more developmental aspect of the awareness of your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your surroundings wouldn't be possible. This is what I call in my language the double turn of awareness, which I think is very much related, but not the complete picture of consciousness. I want to make one thing very clear, that with this video, I'm not propagating that only this view of consciousness is right or that view of consciousness is right. This video is more supposed to encourage an independent inquiry and a discussion into this thought. So before I leave, let me just give a gist of the upcoming videos. We are going to be talking about the Shakta traditions, the Kashmir Shaiva traditions, all the texts that I have studied and have been studying and what I have learned through them, and the principle of goddess and creativity in manifestation of consciousness as the world. Very interesting concepts are going to be coming up in the coming videos.